Redditors who called numbers on bathroom walls. How did it go? A friend of mine once went golfing and there was a call for a good time 3034X written on his rented golf cart. My friend called the number a few days later. Some dude answered and asked who was calling. My friend explained that he was taking up the dude's offer for a good time. The dude laughed and proceeded to have a conversation with my friend about random non-creepy and non-sexual topics for several minutes. After the phone call was over, my friend said he genuinely had a good time. Some were just fake numbers, the rest were very angry girls, and some guys, who were sick of being called. They let me know that my car's warranty had expired. When working for a earth-moving company, we were sent to another part of the state to work and so lived away from home for 2 weeks. All of us had mobile phones except for one guy who was a bit slow. I'll call him Peter. Peter was given a work mobile phone for the time we were away. Well, Peter decided to put his mobile phone number, and the date, on the back of the toilet door to see if he could get someone to call him for a good time apostrophe. This is how slow he was. He was not gay, but he put his number of a door in the men's room. He got about 4 calls in 2 weeks, but they were all guys. Nobody could work out who he was talking to when he said "oh yuck, I'm not a poof" and hung up. So the 2 weeks are up and he gives the phone back. The foreman now has the phone on his desk and he gets about 2 phone calls a year from blokes. This went on for 10 years before I left. It may still happen. Took the foreman about 3 of these calls to work out what was going on. All van, no candy. When I was 11 and new in town, I gave my home phone number to a handful of new girlfriends. This was the 1970s, so way the hell before cell phones. Anyway, one of my new friends misdialed my number by 1 digit and got a crazy old man who yelled and ranted about nothing in particular. She later snuck into the boys' bathroom and wrote that number on the wall. So hopefully some early adolescent boys got an earful of unhinged old man when they called. There was one that was an overseas number and it connected me to a Saudi phone. Guy picks up and all I hear is a faint "fuck you, bitch," then he hung up. Back when I was in university, there was a public greenhouse that we used to visit sometimes. There was a huge plant with waxy leaves, and someone had carved a phone number into one of the leaves. I decided to text the number. I just said something like, "I found this number on a plant," and the number called me back almost immediately. It was some lady who hadn't seen her son in a very long time and left her number there because the two of them used to go there together. I once called a number on the bathroom stall at my college. There wasn't any corny caption with the number and I thought, heck, let's call it. It was the number of a good friend of mine. It was at that point in time that I realized he was actually gay. It was also at that point in time that he realized I was actually straight. Up until then he thought I was just playing hard to get, and I always thought his sense of humor was extremely sexual. Meanwhile he was hitting on me. Anyway, we had a massive laugh about it and it's a running joke to this day. My girlfriend will never let me live it down. Wrote my friend's number on a bathroom wall in a sketchy park. He got a lot of DCK pics texted to him. He never found out who did it. Funny that another friend used the bathroom and saw the number and thought they recognized it and typed it in to confirm and found out it was our friend's number. So they knew where the number was written and that it was someone in the friend group. During grad school, the neighborhood pub had a bunch of games that patrons could borrow to play. They would swap in new games from time to time. One day, we were lucky enough to be handed a brand new Jenga set. And the custom around here is to write a truth or dare on each block. One of my friends wrote a dare, "Send me a pic of your titties." And then wrote my cell phone number underneath it. Over the next 3 years I would get a variety of pictures texted to me. I never received a female nipple pic, but I got a few cleavage pics and more than a few male nipple pics. The best one was a dude who stuck his hands down his pants and stuck his finger out of his zipper so it looked like a dick. Someone wrote my number on a wall at a train station somewhere. I had no idea. Now spend most of my days getting calls from 12-year-old horn dogs who think they're top shit, and would call back even after I tell them to fuck off. I can't not answer an unknown number due to my job, so now all I say is "sweet, another one for the police report," and hang up. That seems to shut them up. My mom picked up. I didn't call one, but my number was put on the bathroom stall of my high school. I had graduated a year prior and my younger, abusive ex-boyfriend thought it would be hilarious to write my number down and say that I was an easy hoe and to message for a good nut. Ended up getting a text from a 14-year-old, I was 19, and found out what happened. The kid ended up being my friend's little brother, so she forced him to get my number off the wall. Good times. When I was a kid I called a number I saw in the restroom at a park. It said something like, "If you want to get laid, call so-and-so." I called and said I wanted to get laid. I didn't really know what that meant, but I knew it was something sexual. The girl who answered said, "Do you just want a lay? Or a lay?" I panicked and hung up, even more confused about what getting laid meant. For years I thought there was something called a lay that was a kinkier version of a regular lay. Called 2 numbers on the same bathroom door. First time, some woman picked up, got scared and cut the call. Second call, no one answered. I put my friend's number in an online ad looking for a tag team partner for amateur WWF wrestling. Must bring own outfit and not be opposed to current theme music and glitter. Practice will be 3x per week, etc., etc. He got a few calls from absolute weirdos, which was always funny, and he started enjoying it and playing along. His number got written down in the men's toilet for wrestling fun, and the calls and pictures got a little aggressive, especially with him thinking it was the original wrestling ad and playing along. I remember texting a number from a bathroom, and now, we're friends. We have small talks, here and there, but still, she's a good friend. Went on a lads trip to Blackpool once, and one of the lads wrote my number in a toilet cubicle for the bands. The next few weeks I had so many texts and calls from guys offering to do pretty vulgar shit to me. Told them all I was straight and this was someone's idea of a joke. A good majority of them replied along the lines of, "That's a shame, wanna try cock anyway? Nah fella, think I'll give it a miss. Cheers." The calls eventually stopped, so I assume it either got cleaned off or someone who was disappointed it wasn't a genuine offer downvoted it as a time waster. Ended up being the number to a married truck driver that came through once a month wanting a man fix. 18-year-old me obliged, and so began several years of toilet touring in my regional town. So many stories and surprisingly few STDs. Someone had written for a good time, call, and then a phone number on a bathroom stall wall. So I called it. It was the phone number to a petting zoo. And it was a great time. When I was in high school, a girl called my house and my mother picked up the phone. Mom told me the girl got my number off the bathroom wall but refused to tell me who it was. Obviously, she called for a good time, and I was not able to provide that since Mom wouldn't let me know. Not a number but a URL. That motherfucker rickrolled me. Once in a public bathroom I found a number with the text, "Call for gay sex, Tom." I texted it saying, "Hey sexy," trying to humor whoever was on the other end. They responded in about 6 seconds saying, "Hey who's this?" as if they had received the message entirely unsolicited. Still messing around, I said that I was DTF. They said let's line it up, and I sent a meme to try and ease the mood since they thought I was serious. The conversation was long, so I'll just sum the rest up. They sent pics of their extremely gangrene-infested feet, and I eventually took it too far and made a joke about age having never stopped me before, and they blocked my number. I think I was weirder in that situation. In the early 90s, as a horny young gay man, I admit I called one. I called, and back then there was no way to send pics. We made arrangements to meet at a nearby fast food place outside. I drove by and saw him standing outside. He misrepresented himself and I didn't like what I saw and kept going. Okay, I actually have a good answer for this one. So it was 2004 and I was hitting the clubs with my roommates. I had way too much to drink, so I went to the bathroom to pee and I saw a number on the stall and I thought, you know what, I'm drunk, I'm gonna call just to fuck with them, it'll be funny. So I pulled out my Motorola flip phone and dialed the number. Some woman answered and I didn't say anything, but she was like, "Hi, this is _ who's speaking," and I said nothing and hung up. Someone put my number in a Home Depot bathroom. I got about 50 calls in a few months from random creeps trying to get their dicks sucked. I had to change my number. I took a hike through an old Girl Scout camp that was in the process of being torn down. There was a wood panel from one of the cabins in a dumpster with the "for a good time" call. So we called, and it was an elderly woman who went to the camp in like the 60s. We talked for like 10 minutes where she reminisced about her time there. 10 tenths would call again. "Bro, we need fucking answers on this." They wanted to talk about my car's extended warranty. "You mean the 2020 Nissan GT-R?" I asked casual. "Yes," they said. "Well," I said, "I don't even have a car." Rickrolled. Removed. My story is a little different. I was at a gas station in town. I had to pee, so I used the bathroom, and on the wall was a message that said to meet in that bathroom on March 25th at 2:15 a.m. Being a horny young man, I thought seriously about it. It was February when I saw the message. After going back and forth for weeks, I let my horniness win out. I still remember that night. Not because it was amazing, but because it was awful. I arrived at 2:20 a.m. and realized that it was kinda sketchy, but figured there were cars around. If shit happened, somebody would hear me yelling. I hopped out of my car and walked past several cars, including this huge van with some way over enthusiastic moronic dog lover. I entered the bathroom. Inside the bathroom a man named Seabass was beating the crap out of this idiot. I immediately turned and walked out. Called for a laugh. A guy answered and I gave him the old "is your fridge running?" Hung up and proceeded to get drunk. The guy called me the next day and told me about how this had been his ex-girlfriend's phone, and how she had fucked every single dude in town, and that he would be glad to give me her new number. Also, he was the one who wrote the number in the stall to get back at her. My buddy called one we found in the bathroom in the mall the one time. We were going to let this poor soul know their number was in the men's room at the mall. Fucking skydiving place one city over answered. We hung up because we didn't know how to handle the situation. To this day I think it was a weird attempt at viral marketing. So there was this number on a playground and a friend decided to call it. Don't know if it was a man or woman picking up, but they didn't know their number was on it. Jenny did provide a good time, but she gave me crabs. Had sex, got herpes. Can't recommend it. Oh, it was awesome. We were in Ocean City, Maryland for a dance competition. There was a scribble along the lines of "call for a good time" and someone else had written below it "butt stuff." I told my friend Kay to prank call it. She did. "Hi, yes, I'm calling to inquire about your advertisement for anal sex. Is this offer still available?" "What?" Confused laughter. "I am in Ocean City and came across your number in an ad for a good time. Is this service still available? And what else is included in the good time?" More laughing. "Who is this?" Then she hung up. 4 hours later they called back to let us know they drove down from New Jersey and wanted to hang out. We did not meet up with them as only one of us was over 18. Lol, it was a disconnected number. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. See you soon.